smacked him in the face.
Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It is Aurora ZX Gaming here. Got a new mic, new TV, bunch of new stuff going on in life. I've been super busy. Finally at the point where I can catch up on some of the old footage that I have saved on my PlayStation. But today I've got a Georgia match for you.
Too late.
I finished with about 217,000 and I almost clutched the match for the team. I will do some thought processes behind some of the things that I'm doing in game. So stay tuned for that.
Except for me.
Um,
I always
and
have a
just
citadeling
stick
boost.
around and hang out. Thank you for watching.
That's all I want.
And yeah, glad to be back. Yeah. Uh, so first things first on this map, Warriors Path, I usually go to the left on my spawn. If I spawn mid, I'm usually playing with a division. I usually turn left here and
Bro,
go to the two islands over here
knock,
in the corner of the map.
knock over the
Um,
brakes.
Team composition, as you saw, was pretty good, pretty fair,
Just use the
top
antivirus
tier.
area. Lay down. Quit being
But
so
yeah,
curious and sit down.
Georgia, my build's a little off compared to most people. You see that secondary slot, EST. I run the first secondary mod in the
I just I
first
don't want
slot.
to throw metal rings
Just
at you,
bumps it
so
up
I'm
to
just gonna
6
make them pop
km.
more often.
Georgia secondaries are fairly accurate. They're not really going to pin a whole lot except for DDs, but they definitely do put in some work. I do wish Georgia's secondaries were closer to PC secondaries, though. But that's just me. I love secondary ships. Um, but yeah, so here I'm going to push this way. And I'm going to end up taking a defensive position at first, watching how my team, sets up and how the enemy team sets up. Um, but yeah, I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
fast forward a little bit, cut around, kind of show you guys what I'm doing, what I'm thinking. So approaching this corner, I tend to, or well, here at this match, I'm taking a defensive position as I can see that my teammates are setting up a little bit awkwardly. Cleveland's going to do the usual thing and hug that island like it's his waifu. And yeah, so I'm going to take up a bit of a defensive position here. And just kind of park up, wait, see how my team's developing, provide long range fire support. As the build I am running is Azure Lane, New Jersey. Um, and on this particular Georgia, because I ended up getting Georgia and Georgia W, luckily, out of some crates. Um, my other Georgia is set up a little bit differently, but here I'm showing the really good turret angles on Georgia. They're really, really good. It's one of my favorite things about Georgia, besides the 18-inch guns, of course. Um, but with my Zerlane, New Jersey, with the Citadel Strike, I will do 21,775, I believe. Um, but yeah, just really good. So here I'm gonna decide I'm gonna turn around and go to mid. Um, as I can see that it's some ships are starting to push mid, and I want to give support to mid because right now it's open, especially with the DD there going down. That leaves mid wide open for the enemy. Um, so here I'm making the turn. Something that I want other battleship players to be conscious of is be aware of where your turrets are facing. If you need to execute a turn, make sure you got your guns locked in the opposite direction. Um, that will help with making sure your guns are always on target. But here I see it looks like Massey's going to push really hard around this corner, so I hit the brakes to stop for a minute. He ends up not pushing that corner, but I still want to sit here and provide support as I can shoot over this island here. Um, but yeah, so after pushing forward towards mid some, I see that Massey's going to be on pretty low health, and then Cleveland requests some help, and me and my division mate decide to turn the other way as there's not really a whole lot pushing mid, and I want to support my Cleveland because he's also a radar cruiser, and you always want to try and support your radar cruisers. Now I decide to push around with him and my division mate and provide support. Um, as there's two battleships pushing over here on that flank, and I do not want them to get broadside shots into me trying to position myself to cover mid. So here, my division mate gets smacked really hard, and then Lafudre pops up. That's a problem. So I'm going to show you guys how to bully a Jumbart or Lafudre. So here I aim up a little bit, get into that nice superstructures. He's gave me a nice, relatively flat spot, but I wouldn't have been able to pin his main belt probably at that angle. So here I decide I'm going to push up and keep this Lafudre from pushing me. As Lafudre in this type of close quarters, I got to hand it to this player. He did not ram me, and that's usually what most players do. But instead, this Bayard pops up, and I punish him for that. With my build, I'm also getting a good, pretty quick reload of my main batteries. I want to say it's around 22 seconds, somewhere around there. Now, this Shamanto is going to be a real problem, so he can pin 30 mil. But if he's going to give me that, that's a paddling. Cleveland ends up getting a double strike. Good for him. Now, me and this Lafudre are going to sit here and just bully each other. Making sure that there's no DD rushing me, so I tell him to radar, or at least ask him to radar. He ends up not. But here, you're going to aim for those turrets. No damage, no turret knockout, unfortunately. But now we're just going to sit here. And yeah, this is a pretty boring part. We're both trying to take each other's turrets out. We're both trying to hit that superstructure. But Lafudre here gave me too much of an angle and showed me that barbette. There's a turret knockout and 11k damage. Now this is something Georgia's really good at, is just absolutely bullying people up close. And I'm just racking up damage. Again with that barbette. Permanently knocked out that B turret. Now he's got one turret left. Now, usually at this point, I expected him to ram me, but seeing him reversing, I didn't push, didn't reverse. I stayed right here. Now, I want to make sure that I clear my shots over the island here. And there we go.
He's turretless.
Knocked out both
Here
turrets.
comes the ram.
Making sure that Cleveland's paying attention there. Huge shout out to that Cleveland, by the way. If you watch this video or recognize that name, make sure you give him a pat on the back for me. He's a good player. Little delayed reaction there on watching those torps come in, I'll admit that. Nice superstructure shot there. And that's how you bully a Lafudre or a John Bart. Aim for those turrets. Once you knock out those turrets, they are basically just a gigantic torpedo. So I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. ACAT gets taken down by the Cleveland. I'm going to jump ahead to where the shits basically hit the fan. But first... Oh boy. Georgia, baby. I love you. Ain't that just peachy?
You said what was full health now?
One lovely thing about Georgia as well, and I believe it's the build that I'm running. When I fire my guns, the time between being spotted and the gun bloom basically is reduced. But now I've completed my turn, and now I can get up here and support this Cleveland as best as I can. That York to the left that's closing the distance, that's a real problem. That guy's going to end up being the one that takes me down. Now here I've got full stacks of whatchamacallit? Not reload. Artillery plotting room, excuse me. Now this Massey here takes out the Cleveland. But I'm gonna punish him for that. Smack him real hard, and yeah. So here,
Brakes.
just stuck in a tough spot. There's nothing I can do. There was something shooting at me from the left, and it looked like it was relatively large guns, which would end up giving them a broadside shot on me. Now here,
He only gets
I
one round,
thought
right?
he fired all of his torps. So I thought I was okay. I was not. I'm going to end up getting taken out by torps. I'm going to get torp rushed. So yeah. This Amalfi, don't know what he was thinking. Not a smart idea, buddy. Dodge torps. Yeah.
Yep.
Nothing I could do there. Stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
I thought he only got
So
one
yeah, I
round.
hope you all enjoyed. Kind of first video back in a
To
while.
accelerate.
There's the
I
damage
was like, no,
total
no,
and
let me wait.
everything. 6 kills. No, 4 kills.
Dude,
Excuse me, almost got a Kraken.
I just made.
First time I've turned $1 million profit.
Dude, I made 1 million
But
credits.
thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe.
That's fucking nuts. I told you I wanted to do Georgia thing.